again, I don't know what my problem is this morning, but I keep losing my train of thought, but I guess it's because I'm just so excited. Oh, I'm going to circle back again. Like there's this alignment, right? And again, kind of focusing on the business piece of this. There's another person in our group, Denise, who's very strong. She's my twin because we have the same birthday. Putting it out there that as a network, as a community, we shouldn't be ashamed or struggle with selling to each other. I'm taking us down a whole different path, right? But like I said, we're both clients of each other. And if we can't serve the people that we care about, like how are we going to go out and tell strangers that we want to help and serve and do the things we do? So I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts about that revelation, because that was something impactful to me and that we share and we all support and love each other. So it comes naturally, but the selling to each other wasn't initially part of the conversation. And I want to stress this. It ties into connection, right? So we meet strangers online, we become friends, and we become customers of each other. Like I've never felt more connected than in these times, to be completely honest. So yeah, what are your thoughts on selling to your friends or what that looks like?
God, the word selling used to like, oh,
yep.
It still does a bit. But now there was like a shift because it doesn't feel like selling anymore. Now, I mean, for myself anyway, like for the travel, it's like nobody can travel. Nobody can have these experiences, and it's something that I'm so enthusiastic about. I go like down deep into detail and stuff that it's actually like a sharing. And it's kind of like, okay, well, and, I'm getting funded so I can like cover the gas to get to these sites or to do different things. Right. And then I realized too, because there's people here that I found out never travel. Like they're in France. There's areas of France, like that interactive art gallery that I had showed you and stuff. They didn't know it existed.
Wow.
People that don't, like you said, right? Like you don't play tourist in your own town, definitely not in your own country. And so, I'm not just serving like people that can't travel because of COVID, but it's also like maybe people that can't travel because of physical disabilities or fear of flying, or my father cannot come to visit me. He's got claustrophobia. He cannot go on a plane. And so when you have it from that perspective on like, oh, I'm so excited about this and I'm going to share it, it's not selling because we do it all the time too.
Yes.
Like look, I've referred so many girls to you because I'm like, oh my God, this is the best service. And I'm calm. I'm like not worried about anything because I've had bad experiences with VAs and stuff too.
Me too.
And like when you're excited about something, you share it. And then somebody else is getting the money, whether it's a movie or a restaurant or whatever. So why not do it with yourself?
Right. Yeah, I struggled with the selling concept too. And when I first started, I have a big dream about where all the funds throughout all my entrepreneurial journey will go is going to the recovery playgrounds and what my vision is. So what I realized when I first started, I was trying to help the gamblers, but I had this mental block where I felt like I knew that when people want to quit, it's usually because the money ran out. Something really bad happened or the money ran out. Those are the two reasons people quit gambling. So I was really struggling with selling products. Like I'll have products available, but that concept. So I kind of tend to do more of the stuff just for free, right? Like that's just where my heart is. And then with the VAs, to your point, it doesn't feel like selling. I know all the stress I've been through this last year with trying to learn the tech and the marketing and the this and the that. It's overwhelming. And what was happening was I was spending all my time on learning the things and never actually getting anything done. So to your point, it's so easy to talk about the VA business now because I know that it's just a help, just like what you're doing is a big help and it gets us excited and like, I can't wait to have a million different cheeses. And like, there's so many things I'm excited about this trip. So yeah, I love that point about that.
And it's, I mean, what we're both doing too saves, like you said, I mean, for your VA services, the time and the money that you save by delegating, and for me, like, I mean, oh my God, you get to, like so your VAs are putting everything onto the actual membership site. And so when you're a member, you can go like, oh, I want to discover Provence or Paris or, the Riviera or whatever. And then you've got like hidden gems and sites and galleries and stuff. So you've got the whole time, however long you need, to travel across and go, okay, this I'm content with just seeing on my computer screen. This I need to be there in person, because people don't come to Paris or to France like once a month for a vacation, right?
Right.
So you can actually like plan your ideal trip and, not miss the things. I remember when, I'm going to go off topic a little wee bit, but okay. Italy, I always loved Italy. And I remember telling my uncle when I was in university, I think, no, it was in college because I used to smoke a lot of and I was telling my uncle, because we went to Italy, I'm like, oh, you've got to go to the Medici. And this is where Savonarola was burnt at the stake. And I gave him the whole history. And then fast forward to, I'm no longer a pothead, and I go to Florence with my husband and daughter. And we have an incredible time. Come home, and I'm talking to my uncle, and he's like, oh, so did you see blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no, what? And he was like, are you kidding me? You like specifically made us go to these sites. You didn't go. And I was like, shit, I forgot they were there.
Wow.
That sucks. When you go somewhere and you come home and you go, oh, this thing that I've always wanted, or I would have loved, and I didn't see it. Right. And so I get to help people avoid that. Fuck.
You just reminded me, and I hadn't made this connection, but I don't know what I don't know, right? Like most people. So I think the reason I enjoyed Asia so much, I didn't have to put together the itinerary. I would have never picked Angkor Wat. Like, what's an Angkor Wat? Which is, one of the 7 wonders, or it's important at any rate. And I'm not a history person either. I do not like reading a history book. Like, I don't like it from that perspective. So the 2 points I'm making is, one is when someone else plans it for you and you're an expert, right? So I think the experience can be better when someone else does it, because otherwise, to your point, everybody would go see Eiffel Tower, Mona Lisa, all the things. So there was that. And again, my brain blanked, and it's okay because I laugh at myself so well. The planning. Oh, and the history part. That was the other piece I wanted to say. Like, bringing history to life is way different than reading it out of a book. And I think as we talk about visual learners and auditory learners and all the things, I know that doesn't get me excited, but going and physically being there or going through your website, those do get me excited. I can learn that way. So I appreciate that you're catering to people like me in that case. So you're kind of brilliant. All right. Because I'm running a little short on time, I want to make sure, well, first I want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything, we'll make sure that all the resources to find you are posted in all the places that people will see. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to chat about?
When it comes to travel, like, I want to talk about everything. There's health benefits. There's like everything, but no, I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So here's my impromptu question, and it's only going to be impromptu.
It's all been impromptu. This has been like.
Yeah, well, this is really, honestly, one of the things that we've learned, and this is, like, we're having fun, but I do want to add value to all the entrepreneurs, right? So I keep trying to stress the points of the things that we've experienced, or, like the pivoting and all that. But all the coaches, all the people that I learned from, they all say, be authentic. But then in the background, they're telling us all to walk like an army and do the same things, right? Like essentially we're getting the same message.
Yes, yeah, I haven't really picked up on that too much. Actually, I did. But when I hear that, I kind of get FOMO because I'm like, I'm not a coach. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like everybody's doing business or something. And I'm like, I'm way off here going.
No, that's what makes you more special and unique. I love that. And honestly, again, my dream's about a brick and mortar business. I just happen to have skill sets that I can utilize in the process. So that's kind of the way it is. But back to the original point of, I don't want to be like everybody else. If people want to learn what my journey is about, want to meet my friends, don't mind if we say shit or the F word on the air, like this is what it's about. So I like the impromptu. Like this is us, right? This is no different than if they joined us on one of our Wednesday meetings. This is us. Yeah. And I'm going to take a lot of pride in that. So, yeah. So here's my question. What is, and it doesn't have to be business, it's just what is your favorite book?
Recently, The Go-Giver.
And who is that by?
And
I can Google it.
I don't know. It's a guy.
Okay.
But it's like, because when we were in Germany, I was doing, I taught English at the university. I was teaching English for business law, and it was business. And I actually got everybody to read this book too. And it's just it's basically like giving first, right? Like having the right purpose, and then everything falls into place. And it's just, I had my students do, it wasn't my favorite book until this, actually. I had my students do their final project based on the book. And so what they did was they each, for Christmas, because it ended at the end of the year. And so for Christmas, they each created some sort of group, like a company or something that they were going to do. And so some had raised money for like a school in Africa. Some did something for a school in India. Some tried to do a free, like, you know, the book, like take a book and leave a book kind of thing.
Yeah.
In Germany, and they couldn't. They didn't get permission from the city hall. And so they had to get creative and stuff. But it was like this huge give back campaign. And you just saw them like change because they were in school for business, on like, you know, do your research, do the marketing, do the, like the, and all of a sudden I just like, the word shatter again.
Yes.
What's wanted and needed, and then find out how to deliver it. And that's your product.
Does Bob Berg sound right? Like, is there a whole collection? Go-Givers Sell More, Go-Giver Leader?
It's the red one.
Okay. Yep. Then I found the right thing. This looks interesting. And
I was like a girl with a car kind of thing. What kind of car do you have? Oh, it's the red one.
It's fine. I got it. God, I love Audible, and I love this question because I get to consume and put more books on my wish list.
And the Da Vinci Code. So the Da Vinci Code, like that, the Go-Giver is new and is like business oriented kind of thing. And well, in a way of living for life, really. But, and then the Da Vinci Code.
Okay.
Because I love Leonardo da Vinci. And I grew up very, very Catholic. My mom, before getting married, was a nun. So like I had to go to church on Sunday, and I had to, and then, you know, come like high school, you're like a total hypocrite, you know, you're sitting in church going, man, that party last night was so cool.
That's your pothead talking.
And so to protest, I actually took like world religions just to be like a little shit and go like, yeah, well, this religion.
Ah, that's funny. That's funny. I'm just starting to learn a little, and theology's never interested me. And again, I think it's the same way with learning. Like I had a priest on my other show, an ex-priest, a few weeks ago. And when I hear him speak about religion and his story, I mean, he's a good old boy, Irish fella. And to take us on his journey and then land at the places with the things we believe in, like meditation and connection and all those things. It's so intriguing to me. But to read about it, forget about it. Like, I feel like the Bible's in a different language, even though it's in English. I just can't get there.
Because, there's another retreat too, right? Like, so we're doing like the fairy forest and stuff. And then this is actually a retreat that I already had. But for those of you that stay, we're going to go to the south of France, because after Jesus was crucified, the apostles and stuff weren't really like very popular. So they fled. And so Mary of Magdalene, and Mary of Lazarus landed in the south of France. And Mary of Magdalene has a cave where she spent the last 33 years of her life meditating and preaching.
Wow. I'm in. Just don't make me late for my cruise. It's my only request.
And we're going to make perfume too.
What's that?
We're going to make perfume too.
Wow. I'm gonna be as worldly as you someday. I'm excited. It's a good
I just might kidnap you.
Well, thank you so much, Therese, for being here. This was fun. I think we could probably talk for hours. But this was amazing. You totally got me all charged up now.
And for anybody that is watching this, like if it's France or not France, if it's just traveling or if it's moving abroad or anything like that, like email. I've got like a membership site, but I've also got a free email. And I love talking about this. So, and especially helping people get out of their comfort zone and just expand the horizon. So always available.
Appreciate that. And I'm sure they will too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.